Hi guys, it's Chief again, and today we are going to take a look at this little monster, the Su-100Y. And there are two kind of people driving this tank. Well, that owns this tank. The people that bought it, loved it, thinks this is the most amazing thing they've ever had, or people that bought it, played fine game, and either sold it or never played it again, thinking that this is the biggest piece of shit they've ever bought. Reason is, well, World of Tank is maybe it's easier. People compare World of Tanks to War Thunder, where I think World of Tank is a much complicated game and much detailed game to learn. There are You have to learn how to use your tank in every way, every perspective. There's so many little things here and there that you have to learn other than, point your gun and shoot the other tank. Even though everything's marked very clearly, I just still think that it's a much complicated game than what I have to know a lot more to be good at World of Tanks than I would need to be good at War Thunder, or the tank version of War Thunder, as at least as far as I can see from the reviews and from the live stream. And here's why, okay? What do you know about this tank? It has a big gun. It's not very accurate. It has no armor. That's what most people think of this tank. And this is what I think of this tank. Tier 10 gun. No, it's not. It's a tier 8. Well, let's compare. Here's IS-7's main gun. Okay. It's a little bit slower firing. At tier 6, this is more than enough to pen any tier 6 tank with no problem whatsoever. Even, well, if you run into like a, I don't know, well, T6, M6, you have no problem. If you run into like a tier 7 or a tier 8, like a T30, T29 or T32 or T34, you have no problem penning the hull or some of the other tanks. You have no problem penning, the weak points of the tank. Huge alpha damage. It's a little bit less than IS-7, but the premium round had more, and it's standard AP for premium, even though a little bit less pen. But again, at tier 6, 170 is more than what most tier 6 have. It's more accurate. So aside from, the rest of this, essentially these two guns are very close. In its own tier, they're practically the same. So tier 10 gun and the roughly tier 6 tank. It's more accurate and it has a much faster aiming time, which leads to what you can fit for this tank. So I have rammer, I have a gun lane drive to lower my aiming time even. Wait, no, that's not the tank. Well, what am I doing? Okay, anyway, yeah, rammer and a gun lane drive to shorten the aiming time of the gun, and I have binocs because I actually know how to camp with this tank. So hiding somewhere and engaging target at long range, this gun actually will do decent, and it has the punch and it has the penetration, it has the alpha damage to, if you hit someone with this gun, if you didn't kill them in the first hit, they would be on such low health that they would not want to come out of the corner, whichever corner they're hiding in. But this is one of those so-called troll tanks. You have a couple along the line, and I'll do a series of them. This will be the first one. You get games where you kill everything you hit. You ammo rack them, or you just put so much hurt into them that they die. Or you have games where you miss every single shot at range, and even if you did hit them, it'll be like none damage critical hits, or just track or eat them. Just like this tank, it trolls the player as much as it trolls the user. It's a huge cannon in its own tier, and it'll destroy anything that comes near it. But at the same time, it has so much problem with the gun. You have games either you do really well or really poorly. And the armor of this tank, it's huge. It's kind of hard to hide, so I didn't bother putting, camel net, because I don't really care. But is this tank really armored, or really bad with armor like people think, or is this tank really bad with armor? Like, does it really have no armor at tier 8? No, it has plenty armor. It's just have a lot of well, have more weak spots than most tanks. I'm not going to talk about this tank. We'll talk about it some other time. But if you think about it, right? Yeah, okay, 60 millimeter all around, or yeah, millimeter. But in this part right here, it's almost impossible to pin because it's so sloped. Shots will just hit and bounce right off. So right there, okay, that covers about half of the chassis or the body, a hull of the tank. So that part don't shoot. So you can shoot here and you can shoot here, easily pen. It's 60 millimeter armor. Anything shoots it will pen. And lower parts probably less, like I don't know, 30 or 50. What about the front of the? Well, this isn't really a turret, but let's, for the sake of the video, call it a turret. How good is the armor on the turret? It's 60. Not true. It's almost like a super Persian. Okay, there's two pieces of space armor right there and right there. So if you shoot anywhere along this piece of armor, you're probably not gonna pin, or you'll do like a non-damage critical, because you'll pin this piece, you might pin this piece, but there's still armor behind that. So yeah, even this piece is hard to pin, and it's very sloped too. So if you hit it straight on, it might bounce off, and even if it pin, it might just bounce off the back piece. So again, with these pieces, even though they're 60, again, very sloped. Okay, and if you fire and then you turn your tank at a right angle and back off, a lot of people would just hit the side of this plate, or even if they hit like that, it'll just bounce because it's just a really difficult angle. So tank's not that bad armored. You just have to know how to use it. Now, as far as hiding this tank, try to stay 15 feet behind a big bush, or trying to stay behind heavies and shoot over, you know, shorter tanks because you're so tall. Try to cover up as much of your tank as you possibly can. You're not gonna camel this tank up and be like invisible TD, but you can do a lot of things to cover up a lot of your weak points and try not to get shot. Okay, now how does this tank work? Let's see some replays. Now here we are in, yeah, bad with names of the map, Arctic region, and this is a tier 8 tier 7 battle. What the hell am I doing here? Yeah, holy, look at the other team. KV1S, KV1S, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 KV1S, a Tiger 2, an IS-3, a Carvenator, a VK3001D? I don't know. And a Yak Panther. Okay, this isn't gonna be easy at all. Well, let's see how this plays out. So now I'm in a tier 6 TD fighting tier 8 tanks, and not like I can really hide, and I'm playing with my friend Burmok here in his KV2, and as you guys know, giant derp gun. And obviously he have the derp gun. So what should we do? Okay, well, since we're on this side of the map, I'm gonna go find a spot to hide in. And so this is usually what I do if I'm coming to this spot. In this case, I'm not much use in the front line, because if I get shot once, I'm pretty much dead. I only have 700 health. So, oh, I see a tiger here. So we're gonna camp behind this bush, and it's far enough where I'm not worrying about people spotting me. So I'm gonna put a shot into this tiger. Look, 472 damage. This is what people respect, that damage of this gun. Even though they know you're a lower tier tank and they could easily kill you, they still really don't want you to be shot. Don't want to be shot by this cannon. Well, Burmok is saying, "Move, let me hit him, let me hit him." And Tiger got behind cover and he missed a shot on the 3001D. Now, I'm gonna camp here for a while, see if I can spot anything else, and obviously I'm not spotted. And I fired a blind shot hoping that Tiger was still in the same spot, and he wasn't. So let's move along a little bit faster, because there's not much going on for a while. And Going, going, going. Our team up north is obviously dying. Now, back to normal speed. Now, there's a whole bunch of big tanks coming down north, and there's two tier 6. Now, if we look at it, okay, we can see on the map AMX-12, IS-3, Tiger 2, KV-1S. Well, there's a couple more KV-1Ss that's also coming down the road. Yeah, this doesn't look good at all. So, again, people often make the mistake that this is a big tank and it's slow, and this Scout is going to make the same mistake. Oh, it's a big ol' Su-100Y. He's probably really slow. Su-100Y is one of the biggest fast tank, or biggest or fastest big tank. I got it backwards in the game. Really good traverse rate. Really good in power to weight ratio, and it gets up to 35 kph easily. So yeah, he makes a big mistake. I'm gonna over aim, and there you go, got him. Biggest problem was this tank, slow reload. But is it really slow? Because it's pretty much the same aim speed as KV-1S's. Now I make a slight miscalculation. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to get too far out, and I did get a little bit too far out. But I know all of those tanks are coming. First tank, and look, there you go. See what happens when these two people respect KV2, people respect 100Y, and hold on, I didn't do it right. Let's see. See that? See where he shot? I think that one on the bottom corner is the one that he hit, and see, it didn't even get through the first plate, and that was a IS-3. So BL-10, he was fully upgraded. See, there's holes. See how the space armor works? You shoot the front of this tank, you're probably not going to do anything. And one of these pinned because I took a little bit of damage, but not much. Alright, back to the free camera. Now, two tanks was really big guns, a derp gun and a 130 millimeter. To the tank that's in front of us, none of them have the alpha damage that we could put out, so they don't want, you know, bad. That was bad. I just bounced off of a KV-1S. We're gonna slowly move up this hill, and here's the thing, even though we're tier 6, nobody wants to be shot by this gun. Nobody wants to be shot by a KV-2. The alpha damage of the gun give people so much of a respect that they really don't want to mess with you too much. There you see IS-3. He was pretty full health when he first came here. No, or KV2. Yeah, there you go. Now KV2 friend here is dying rather quickly, and I puts a shot into him. He kills. Oh, he didn't kill him. Oh, he got set on fire again. This is the second KV-1S, and unfortunately, yeah, he missed that shot. So Burmok dies. But look at it. How many tanks around this corner? And they wouldn't come around this corner to be shot by me, except this dumb little KV-1S that's gonna get his butt shot off. There you go. And I know that whatever you want to say, it took them a really long time to get around this corner. They still haven't. They're still worrying about me, and I'm a little tier 6 tank destroyers. Someone shot me from the back. It's a Tiger 2 that's down in a corner. But if he didn't kill me, I could have held the whole entire side by myself the whole time, and we obviously won. Now, this gun, there's so little known about Su-100Y because not enough people drive them. So people that don't know them don't really know the reload speed of the gun, and they don't really dare popping around the corner just in case you have a round loaded. because they really don't want to be shot by that big gun. And you should use that to your advantage. You can hold off a lot of people, and you can make a lot of people think twice about ever coming at your tank when you're staring down at them. So that's essentially how we use this tank. The fear of this 130 millimeter giant derp cannon that's pretty much, the same main gun as the IS-7 puts people in check, and nobody in their right mind would ever want to be shot by this gun. Even at tier 10, it's a very big hit. So use that to your advantage, and you can do really well in this tank. Now this one is White Park. Standard battle. I want to show you a few things, and obviously again the gun of this tank, and the second thing I wanted to show you is the bad camo rating. This is when I had this game, I actually had a camo net on this tank, and my crew was actually from my ISU, which was 100% camoed, except one of the gunners. One of the gunner wasn't 100% camo. So 5 out of 6 players in this tank is 100% camoed. It's painted with a camo net, and I'm gonna show you just the bad part about the camo and how you can put your tank in a position where it's hard for people to see, and also the power of this gun again. Now this is pretty standard tier 6, yeah, mostly tier 6 battle. So okay, not a bad matchup, all tier 6. Now as you know, this is like TD's favorite spot, but okay, my mistake here. Okay, now I'm camping behind this row of bush, even though there's a lot of cover. I'm too close to the front of the bush, and I'm shooting the first tunnel, which is the tunnel to the right, and which means it's putting me in the spot where every time I fire, I'll get lit up for a little while. So that was my mistake. I should have gone back further, but I didn't, and I'm gonna find out that was a really bad mistake in a minute. But oh, stop. Stug, anything with 400 or less health, don't get in front of this gun. Now here's AT2. Now AT2 is an extremely tough tank, and with this gun at this range, I won't pen it if I shoot the front of the tank, and obviously my goal run isn't gonna help because I have less pen. The only chance I have, AT2 to the front, there's 2 big weak spots. One is obviously the one I'm aiming at, which is the gun. The second spot is the cupola on the top of the tank, which are not easy for this tank to hit either way. I mean, this is a fully aimed shot. The aim circle is bigger than the tank. So I'm going to try to shoot the gun. Obviously I aimed too low, but now that I fired, yeah, he kind of know where I am now. Yeah, there you go. He hit me. I don't know how that shot missed. I don't even know where that shot went. Now, I'm gonna back off more, and I realized my mistake, and I'm gonna put myself behind more bushes. Now, oh, hold on. Now, even it looks like I'm not behind any bush, but from where my tank is, there's 2 where I'm shooting at. There's all 3 of these or 4 of these bushes in front of me, and I'm 15 feet away. I mean, yeah, roughly 15 meter away from the first bush, which means it's gonna cover up my muzzle flash. And that's how you're supposed to play this tank. Put lots and lots of cover in front of you, and that way they won't see you. Now I'm not gonna miss this shot. There you go. Bye bye T40. I wasn't sure if I was spotted, just in case I was, and I moved, and somehow I missed this shot. And it's even though the circle is green, that might mean that I'm aiming at the T40, because that would also put the aim reticle to be green. But oh well. Anyway, what are these two doing? Are they really? Do they really think that that's a good idea? Okay. See again, 400 health, one hit. Well, 420, but my average roll is 440, so even if it's a low roll, I still wouldn't hit you. Nobody wants to get in front of this cannon. Nobody. And try to aim for this Churchill. I don't think I killed the Churchill. I don't know what that was. And see again, mistake. The problem is when you're camping behind that many bushes, it's kind of hard to spot, so you have to sometimes make bad decisions based on your aiming reticle. When it's green, it doesn't mean that you're actually aiming at a live tank. It could be the dead tank, and that shot was definitely aimed at the T-40. I don't know what I was thinking, but I obviously shot the corpse of that T-40. Looks like twice. But okay. No. Now I'm kind of confused and don't know what I was shooting, and I had to get close and have a better aimed shot. Yeah, there you go. 450, one shot. I don't know. I don't think I ammo racked them. But again, it's a little bit of a high roll, but still, I put that shot right through the gun of AT2. Until tier, well, lower tier TDs, most lower tier non-premium TDs have, well, any TDs, non-premium TDs, all the way up to tier 9, have a lot lower health than their counterparts, like the same tier medium or heavy or even light tanks. So you have to be very, very aware when you're driving a TD. I mean, the tank in front of me, they're both tier 5, okay? M881, nearly 300 health barely. Oh no, that's one tier lower. That's a bad comparison. But M1A1 compared to Martyr, okay, 370 versus 265. If you're a TD, and don't care, it doesn't matter how much armor you have, do not stay in one place. That AT2 was never moved, never ever ever moved since he was there. So obviously, free kill for me. I'm not gonna complain. Now everybody ran off, and pretty much for the rest of this fight, I didn't get to shoot anybody else. Everybody died before I ever got there. So yeah, but still, you see how to use this tank. It's not a bad tank. Don't ever rush into judgment with any tank you get until you understand the full advantage of this tank. Every tank have something really good about them and something really, well, every tank have something good and something bad about them. Certain tanks have something great about them and something horrible about it. There's no perfect tank in World of Tanks, and there's no perfect anything in any game. There's always a weakness and a strength. Now, you just have to make a decision based on your game style, the way you play the game, that if the strength outweighs the weakness of whatever you have, and if it is, then it's worth getting, and if it's not, then it's not worth getting. I like TD. I'm generally a TD player. I can play tank destroyers all day, and I don't care if I don't have a turret. So I'm okay with this thing. I'm quite happy with a TD was a really, really big gun that can kill everything, and I can put myself in the position where I don't get shot at, and even if I do, this tank, like I said, the armor of this tank is awesome. In many ways, it has armor. It's like KV2. If you think KV2 have no armor, you're wrong. KV2 have plenty of armor. In this tank, I've had ARL 44s running up to me, firing 5 shots straight into that sloped front plate on my hull, and bounced all 5 shots, and I killed them. So, don't misjudge tank just because of someone else, what someone else has said, or you had a few bad game in it. Trying to figure out the weakness of the strength of the tank and use it to your advantage and see if you can do well in it afterwards. And if you still don't like it, then it's a bad tank to you, but it's still not a bad tank, it's just a bad tank to you. So someone else might do really, really well in it. So anyway, hope you guys liked the video, and if you do, please subscribe to my channel and have fun in the game.